Hi there, this continues our series on the BigCommerce version 2 import steps, and now we are up to uh, mod 3 of the spreadsheet. So going back to mod 2, we do that, select that tab there, and go ahead and move our copy and create a copy, move to end, and rename that mod 3. And as always, this is a good point to click Save. So we make sure that we have not lost anything. All right, so the Mod 3 step deals mainly with product images, the spec sheets, and the install guides. As we've seen here, as we've processed these spreadsheets, we do have the URLs identified for image 1, image 2, and image 3. We have the spec sheet URL named and identified. And we also have the install guide URLs. Now, the next bits that we need to do is we need to create the proper file names and start the processes to download these files from these URL locations and to upload them to our BigCommerce WebDAV drive so that they will be there for the import process. So we need to create some blank columns to go ahead and have available for our local file names. And we'll go ahead and create those now. So in this case, we have image1 URL. Right next to image1 URL, we'll go ahead and create a new blank column and shrink it down to a size that's sane. And by our naming convention, we call that image1 file. And that will contain the eventual file name that we generate for this downloaded file. And we're just going to continue this process across the images and the spec sheets. And now we have our columns that we need to put in our file names. Now, previously this used to be a manual process with lots of potential for fuck-ups, but we've now created a new program that handles that, which is called, looking at the guide here, which is called Excel create download file name. So we'll go ahead and start that. All right, so here's our program. You don't need to load them into Visual Studio for them to run, but you do need to have Python and whatever dependent libraries that it uses in order for the program to actually operate. We tend to run these in Visual Studio just because if something goes wrong, which a lot of times it does, it will give me some indication of the error or use some type of indication of the error so we can debug it. So we'll go ahead and run this. And so this new program eliminates all the need for the concat column and having to do all those concatenation formulas and then worrying about actually creating file names that don't have URLs. This program will check the URL, make sure it's a valid format. If it sees blank columns, blank rows like this, it won't create a file name for those blanks, so it reduces a lot of hassle and errors of accidentally going through download a process on something that doesn't exist or running it on an invalid URL. So it's going to ask us for, well, let's move this over here. It's going to ask us for the brat name column, which is it's going to ask us for the column letter containing the SKU. See why it's so important that we name these things accordingly so it matches up with the programs. Okay, that's going to be column B. Now it's going to ask for the column letter containing the download URL. And once again, thank God we actually have rational naming so we can find this shit when we need to. So that would be, in this case, image1 URL, which would be AH. All right, we'll put it over here so you can see what we've done here. Okay, and we hit enter, and it's going to create a file name, read the URL. If it's valid, it's going to write that file name into the image1 file column. Let's see here, destination, in this case, image1 file is going to be AI. We put that in. Yes, these new scripts handle 2-character spreadsheet columns, which the old programs didn't. Okay, since this can be run to generate the image1, image2, image3 spec and install, it needs to know according to our naming convention, according to the guide, right? These things have a standard format, so image1.jpg, image2.jpg, etc., etc. That should all be mentioned in here. It's going to do that for us automatically, but we got to tell it. Okay, so this is image1, so we got to tell it 1. All right, and we see over here, it's went ahead and generated the destination image file names. It's put in the brand, it's concatenated the SKU, it's put in 1 for image1, the right extension. Where there wasn't a URL, it didn't create one, and so we only have file names for URLs that are valid. All right, so that works pretty slick, saves an awful lot of trouble, and not only that, but it has a run again feature on it, and you can go ahead and do this for image 2 and image 3, which we'll go ahead and do here. Yes. All right, and it's not going to ask us again for the columns it already knows, the brand name and SKU, just the relevant stuff. And we can just run this all the way across until we have all of our file names. And now the program's completed and we've finished it, and just a quick eyeball check here to see, did it generate it? All right, there's no URL there, so it didn't generate it there. Where it did, there it is. And so it's followed that all the way down. As we can see, we've done image 3, it's done the spec sheets, it's done the install guide. So that part is complete. So now that the generating the file names is done, we can go ahead and close this program and load up the next program. This one will be the one that actually copies the files from the URL and names them these new names. So we'll go ahead and drop that one out into the program and get it started. This one is file copy from URL. So when we start this program, best to have a folder open to the destination. As we said, according to the folder structure that we created in the guide, it's going to be under temp, Intermatic pick. We can take that folder and copy the address and just right click into that rather than having to type it and accidentally fat fingering something in there. So there is our destination directory path with no mess, no fuss. All right, we can take that out of the way. And okay, column letters containing download URL. We're going to do image1 URL. So that's AH. And the AI has the file name destination, which is AI. And then we set it loose. And it will give you a running as it's operating. And we can see here it's doing its download thing. So we'll check up on that a little bit. All right, after we've run this program against all of the image files that we want to download and all of the PDFs that we want to download, you can see this is all complete here. Keep in mind when running any of these programs that there are log files stored in the temp directory. If something goes wrong, I need to have a copy of those temp files in order to troubleshoot it. So keep those in mind. They have essential information. So Here we have the copy from URL log, and it's going to show in here the status of every download, so we can trace down what went wrong. If something went wrong, of course, we know that my programs are perfect and nothing ever fails. Yeah, so good idea that once they've downloaded, go into the download folder and take a quick browse and make sure that nothing looks too out of the ordinary. We can see here in the case of these files look good, they're rendering properly. We have several though where Intermatic has put in a image in their file system of a photo not available. In times past, we wouldn't have used that, but according to our latest orders from Ben, we'll go ahead and upload those non-photo photos as well. On the PDFs, just a quick look for nothing out of the ordinary. You might want to open a PDF or two and make sure that they are actually the thing we thought that they were, so that we don't upload stuff into our site further in the processes and then foul things up. So it looks pretty good on this end. Now going back to the spreadsheet, we're going to start the preparations for, now that we've downloaded them, we want to verify them, clean things up a little bit if there's some artifacts, and then upload them to the BigCommerce web dev site. So when these files download, a status field is added to the end of the worksheet. Unfortunately, it just has a generic name here, so with each run, it's going to create one of these. So you'll have to pull it over to the right spot to line it up. So the first one we know was the image 1 download, and second image 2, image 3, spec, and then install guide. So we're going to move these next to their file names. Okay, now that we've got these lined up with their appropriate files, what we're looking for is any place where we thought we had a valid URL and a valid file name, but we see a status of broken. We want to delete that file name so that we're not importing gibberish up into the web dev and fouling up descriptions. So you can either do a sort on images to make this a little bit easier, or eyeball it. In this case, I'm looking for anything that says broken. And that's good. On the first image, we're not seeing anything broken, which is what I would expect. And image 2 looks good. No brokens on that. And valid just means that there is a blank or a URL that wasn't a valid URL. Anything that didn't have a valid URL shouldn't have a valid image file. If it does, delete that image file name. All right, and 3 looks good. Just invalids. All right, now the spec sheets. Spec sheets, we're seeing brokens. That's no good. We can test a few of these manually and see if they are actually broken. So like in the case of this one, that PDF file says that's a broken URL. So let's go ahead and copy that URL, pop it in a browser and see if we get a download. And lo and behold, it is really broken. So in the cases, it's pretty good. I've never seen it yet tag something broken that wasn't broken. So everywhere you see a broken, delete that file name. That way we're not embedding broken PDF links into the descriptions. So you'll want to do that on everything that's marked broken, is delete the file name before we go any further. So broken there, broken there, broken there, broken there. You get the idea. So I said you can sort the spreadsheet by broken and just kind of do them in one batch. Or if you just got a few, just do one at a time. All right, so I've done a quick sort here on the spec file size status and found all the brokens, and now I can just delete them all in one swoop so that I don't miss any. There. So we said the only thing we're concerned with is removing the file name from any broken URL. And then it looks like we've got some brokens in the install guide URL, so we'll go ahead and do the same thing to that. And it turns out the install guide only had one broken URL, so we just take that one out. Oops, took out the wrong thing. Wanted the file, not the status. And. All right. So at this point, we want to go ahead and run the webdev images upload all BC program. And this is going to take all the images and go ahead and upload those to the webdev. If you look at CyberDuck, this is the back end of BigCommerce, and the PDF files that we upload go here under content and under the name of the particular vendor. We can see we already have the folder for Intermatic. That'll be the next step. Images are processed kind of differently in that PDFs, this is their final resting place. Once they're up there, we don't mess with them again, really. But images go into temporary areas. So under product images, and they go under import. Then we run the import process, and part of the import process is it copies these images that are in the import folder as they're specified in the spreadsheet, and then it renames them and restores them. This really hokey pokey kooky filing system that's got a letter and then got a number, and then you see it like this. It kind of turns everything into spaghetti. And this is the final resting place of the images that show up on the BigCommerce site. Once the import process is done, it is absolutely essential that as cleanup process, we go into the import folder and we delete those copies of the images that are in there, because once the import process is run once, those images are redundant and are never used again. And when that process is done, not immediately, this is not until all the import is done at the very, very end, and probably not even done by the person doing the importing, this webdev images delete all program is what's used to clean out the import folder. Once again, this is only done after the import has been done completely and everything has been uploaded to BigCommerce and the import spreadsheet has been uploaded. So, not part of this process. Way, way at the end. Okay, the image uploader program is, when it runs, is kind of unique in that if, as it's uploading the images, it's going to create a folder called transferred, I think it is, that's in the whatever pick directory the image is originally from, and everything it successfully transfers or think it does, it moves into that folder. The point being that if the computer gets jammed up that's doing the upload at some point, or something's disrupted or crashes, you can restart the program and it'll pick up right where it left off and just continue uploading the rest of the images, rather than trying to re-upload the ones that it's already done successfully. So this program can be stopped and restarted several times until it's completed, and it'll just create a transferred folder each time. So this is fairly straightforward. We run this. All it needs is the path. Here's the example of where it expects it. So we're going to go ahead and copy that path here because we got it open. Right click and drop it in there. And it should take off. It's not the world's fastest, but it doesn't require any interaction. It's just going to sit there and click away until it's done with everything. As we can see over here, the transfer one folder has been created, and we'll see these files, this counter here will change as these files are transferred and then moved into this transfer one folder. So as we can see, the program is finished, and there's nothing left in the pick subdirectory except transfer. So all that stuff in theory has been transferred correctly. And now if we want to confirm that the files actually got to where they're supposed to be, I mean, we could either look it up manually in CyberDuck here, although that is not a great solution if you've got a lot of files here. But here we can see in CyberDuck, yeah, okay, 1579 files that we could do a count and check that. But for really big things, you'll want to use another program called WebDAV Check Files BCXL. That one there. Okay, what this program is going to do is, with your open spreadsheet, give it the list of files. It's going to go check them in the WebDAV folder and make sure that they got transferred to the right place. It's going to put a status column at the end of the spreadsheet showing whether it found them or not. So we'll go ahead and run that. So it's asking for the column with the XL upload file names, and in this case we want to start off with image1 file. So that one is AI, and so we'll go ahead and give it AI here. And now it doesn't know. You have to tell it whether or not these were PDFs that were uploaded to the content, or whether they were product images sent to import. Remember we said earlier here that PDF file live under content here under any particular subdirectory for the vendor, but the images that we import will end up here under product images import. So that's what it's asking for. These case it's images, so we're going to select 2. All right, and it's done its thing. And if we look here at the end of the spreadsheet, we might as well move the status over here to an insert, and there, upload status. Now bring that over to our empty spot. All right, and now we can see the uploads have verified or missing, and looks like everything that should be verifiable is verifiable, and everything that should be missing is missing. And we'd go ahead and do that with the rest of the images and with PDF files as well. So we've run this a few times against the images and moved the columns over to the appropriate places, and we can see everything is verified like we would like. If we find anything that's not verified, well, either remove the image file, remove the record, create a new image, upload it manually, whatever it takes to fix or make the problem go away. And so we've run this on all 3 images, and everything checks out like we would expect. Now we would run the same program to check the PDF files, but we haven't uploaded those yet, so we'll go ahead and run the uploader for the PDF files. So running the PDF uploader is nearly identical process to the image uploader, except it puts it in the content and in this case Intermatic subdirectory under content rather than under pick. So we'll go ahead and run that while we have our temp folder, our folder open of the Intermatic files. And let's see if I can bring that back again. Of course not. You click one thing and it all goes to hell. All right, so we want to copy that link for the program. Right click, enter that. All right. If we're sure that there wasn't already an Intermatic subdirectory, we can create it as we uploaded. In this case, we do know that there is an Intermatic directory already in place, but it has nothing in it. So we're not going to create a new one. No. Now it's going to go pull up a list of the existing directories, and we would pick where we want these PDF files to go, which is number 6, Intermatic. So we'll enter in 6, and the magic should start happening. And same thing, it's going to do a transfer folder, and it's going to copy those as soon as they're transferred over to transfer. If the program stops, it can be restarted, and it'll just pick up where it left off. So we'll let this perk for a while. Okay, so the WebDAV PDF upload script is complete, and as we can see here, we've got everything in the transfer1 directory. So we can go ahead and close that out. If we want visual confirmation, we can go ahead and use CyberDuck to see that yes, they are there. but as discussed earlier, we have the WebDAV check files program to go ahead and run against that and go ahead and get the full confirmation. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. And all right, so upload file names. In this case, we want the spec sheet file and the install guides. So let's pull that down so I can see it. So column letter is AU, not UA. And this time it is content, so 1, not images. And we want to check the informatic folder, so that's 6. And program is complete. And we'll go ahead and put an empty column in there to put the status in. There's our upload status. That looks good. Everything that should be missing is missing. Everything that should be verified is verified. So that one looks good. And then we'd run that again on the final worksheet, the install file. Let's expand that out a little bit and run that dang program again. All right. In this case, this is AY. And run that. And content again. And Intermatic 6. And there we are. So everything looks like it's verified and uploaded complete. Everything that says it's missing should be missing. So there we are. That is complete. And that completes the Mod 3 part of the import process, which handled downloading, checking, file checking, and re-uploading to WebDAV the images, specification sheets, and install guides. And thank you very much for your time and attention, and we will move on to the Mod 4 steps.